Greetings family. June Allen here from juneallen.net, and I am a psychotherapist in training, and I help Black women who struggle with self-love, sisterhood and sobriety. So today I wanted to share a really quick video on the number one boundary that you need to look at if you're struggling. Okay, if you're struggling with lockdown, if you're struggling emotionally, if you're whatever it is you're struggling with, if you can explore this one boundary, okay, it can be a game changer. So that boundary is time. Okay, your time boundary. So time boundary is you basically exploring and looking at how you spend your time, what you do with your time. Okay, so the first thing is your time, okay, is it structured, or do you find yourself chasing your tail every day? Okay, do you have a structure? So when you think about your time boundaries in terms of a structure, think about, okay, well, what time should I be getting up? How much time are you spending on things where you're just completely just wasting your time? Okay, have you got things that are scheduled in your calendar that are just pointless, or that you don't that just don't make any sense, especially with everything that's going on at the moment with lockdown? Okay, review how you're spending your time at the moment, if it's structured. If it's not structured, if you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, then you need to look at that. Because if you're struggling with stuff, having some sort of structure, maintaining some sort of control around how you spend your time is going to do amazing things for you in terms of your well-being. Okay, it's going to give you back a sense of control about what's going on when things at the moment feels so much like it's out of your control. Okay, so that's the first thing. Think about your structure. Okay, the second thing is, how much of your time are you giving away to people, okay, that are just there to just going to drain your energy? Okay, there is no time like the present where it's really, really important for your relationships to be reciprocal. Okay, if you're in a relationship where or you're in not necessarily a love relationship, but any type of your relationship, friendships or whatever it is that are draining you, or that are making you feel bad about yourself or whatever, then you need to set some boundaries around those people, how much time you spend around those people. Okay, because at the end of the day, you've really got to take care of yourself during this pandemic, especially if you're a parent like me. You know, one of the reasons that I decided to do the video today as opposed to doing a live stream is because I still wanted to show up, because I normally do a live stream whatever on a Thursday, but I also need to reclaim some of my time, you know, because, you know, I'm sort of, I have my moments where I'm struggling with different things, and I'm sort of struggling with, you know, sometimes I don't always get a good night's sleep. Sometimes I have my own stuff going on. As a parent, I worry about how my daughter's performing at school and all of that kind of stuff. And so this video is my way of practicing my time boundaries. Okay, this video is a way of me practicing my time boundaries and thinking, okay, just for today, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So, okay, instead of spending 45 minutes to an hour doing a live stream, I'm going to be doing a 10-minute video instead. So I still get to share content. I'm showing up as myself. I'm being vulnerable, but at the same time, I'm giving myself permission to claw back some of that time so that I can really look after myself with the commitments and stuff that I have today as well. So ask yourself that question. Who are you spending your time with? Okay. Also think about, you know, how much time are you spending looking at the news and looking at what Boris is doing, or looking at what, you know, all of these things. Again, these things are going to drain your energy. And if you're already struggling already, these things are not going to make you feel good about what's going on in your life. Now, I'm not saying don't be informed, because obviously you need to check in with what's going on. I check in maybe once a day. I check in once a day. I have a look and see what Boris is up to. Are there any changes to lockdown or whatever it is? So I just get an overview of what's going on in the news, but I don't spend all day looking at my phone, checking updates on. I just don't do it, because I know in terms of my well-being, it's just gonna, you know, it's gonna erode any sense of hope that I may have about things. And it can be quite depressing. It can be quite depressing. So it is really, really important to really look at that. So think about the time that you're spending on social media. okay, or watching the news, or how much time you're spending with Corona, whatever. Your time is sacred. Okay, having good time boundaries means that you value your time as sacred. Okay, so put those boundaries in. If there's people that are draining you, if you're finding that you're spending too much time on social media, give yourself, set a timer. Set a timer and just go, I'm going to speak to this person because I care about them, but maybe you're not going to get as much. Maybe they're not as, that relationship or friendship is not as nourishing for you. So I'm just going to give them 10 minutes. I'm not going to give them an hour or whatever it is. Whatever feels comfortable for you. But your well-being has to come first. Okay, your well-being has to come first. All right. So the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about, as well as time, is, have you got too many things crammed into your time? Okay, is your calendar looking too busy? Is your calendar looking too busy, and you need to create more spaciousness for yourself so that you can have time to breathe? You've got it. One of the things that I keep saying, the theme that keeps coming up a lot when working with clients and stuff at the moment, is that people forget that we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and they're feeling guilty and feeling upset about not being able to be as productive, not being able to, they just feel a bit overwhelmed by all the emotion and everything that's going on, and they don't know how to look after themselves. And the first thing I say is that it's important to give yourself some grace, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So if your calendar is looking the same as it was before the pandemic, or you're thinking that you can still carry on and do all of the things that you were doing before all of this stuff happened, and you're struggling, that's why you're struggling. Because you're trying to fit, a square peg into a round hole. And don't work like that. You've got to be able to pivot. Okay, so use your time to really think about what's going on your calendar. Is there stuff that you can take off your calendar? What I like to call underscheduling. Is there stuff on your calendar you can underschedule? Take time, email a few people, call a few people, and just say, look, I'm really struggling at the moment. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that thing. And it doesn't matter that you're at home. Another theme that keeps coming up is that people seem to think that just because we're in lockdown and we're all at home, that you're automatically available. No, you're not. No, you're not. You still can set firm time boundaries and say, actually, I'm not available between this time and that time. Or I can only do that thing between this time and that time. Just because you're at home, it doesn't mean that you're available. Okay? And be really, really clear about that. You still need your time to do the things that you need to do. Okay? So be unapologetic about that. So I'll leave it there for today. So that is the thing, the main boundary for you to look at, okay, to explore if you are struggling. Your time. Value your time. Your time is sacred. All right? Any questions or anything, email me, info@guideofgreatness.com, or send me a DM. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.